Greetings, everyone. The topic for today is related to the differences between the biography and autobiography. And in addition to this topic, we are going to discuss in detail about what is memoir as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe it to get more updates related to the lessons which I'll be uploading and related to the other playlist of the travel and entertainment which I have created. So let's discuss each one in detail. So, biography is the life history of an individual written by someone else. An autobiography is the story of a person's life. So, when you are writing about somebody else's life, that is biography. And autobiography is the story of a person's life, means that you are writing about your own life stories, likes or dislikes. So, it is written by that person himself or herself, while a memoir is a collection of memories written by the person themselves. So you can see that there is a bit or slight relation between the autobiography and between the memoir. The three primary formats of a memory book used to tell a life story are a biography, an autobiography, and a memoir. So these are the primary formats of a memory book. As you can see that there is a close link between all these three, and you can see that autobiography and a memoir has very, you can say they both have a large similarity. So distinguishing between the three can feel a bit confusing since they all share several similarities, but there are some distinct differences as well. So what are those distinct differences? We will see in the next slides. Now question is, what is a biography? So a biography, also called a bio, is a non-fiction piece of work giving an objective account of a person's life. So the main difference between a biography and autobiography is that the author of a biography is not the subject. A biography could be someone still living today, or it could be the subject of a person who lived years ago. So you can add about that person's early life, education life, their achievements, their hobbies, their likes, dislikes, their participation, everything about their life, you can add it there. So biographies include details of the key events that shape the subject's life and information about their birthplace, education, work, and relationships. Biographers use a number of research sources, including interviews, letters, diaries, photographs, and essays, reference books, and newspapers. While a biography is usually in the written form, it can be produced in other formats such as music composition or film as well. So if the target person of the biography is not alive, then the storytelling requires an immense amount of the research. So interviews might be required to collect information from historical experts, people who knew the person, that could be a good friend of that person, and or you can say any family member, or reading other older accounts from other people who wrote about the person in previous years. So in biographies where the person is still alive, the writer can conduct several interviews with the target person to gain insight on their life. The goal of a biography is to take the reader through this life story of the person, including their childhood into adolescence and teenage years, and then their early adult life into the rest of their years. The biography tells a story of how the person life is life lessons can be learned, or the ways the person navigated the world. So it should give the reader a clear picture of the person's personality, traits, and their interaction in the world. So interaction in the world could be of, you can say, different aspects of his or her life. So now comes another thing, which is autobiography. So the question arises over here is that what is an autobiography? An autobiography is the story of a person's life. It is written by that person. Because the author is also the main character of the story, autobiographies are written in the first person. Usually, an autobiography is written by the person who is the subject of the book, but sometimes the autobiography is written by another person. Because an autobiography is usually a life story for the author, the theme can be anything from religious to personal account to pass on to the children as well. So the purpose of an autobiography is to portray the life experiences and achievements of the author. Therefore, most autobiographies are typically written later in the subject's life. It's written from the point of view of the author, so it typically uses first-person accounts to describe the story. An autobiography often begins during early childhood and chronologically details key events throughout the author's life. Autobiographies usually include information about where a person was born and brought up, their education, career, life experiences, the challenges they faced, and their key achievement. So same things need to be discussed in biography, which is going to be discussed in autobiographies. You can see that the key elements like where the person was brought up, where he was born, their education, their career, life experiences, the challenges they confronted in their life, and what were the key achievements. So all of them should be written in chronological order. On rare occasions, an autobiography is created from a person's diary or memoirs. When diaries are used, the author must organize them to create a chronological and cohesive story. The story might have flashbacks or flash forwards to describe a specific event, but the main storyline should follow chronological order from the author's early life to their current events. Now comes the last topic. What is a memoir? So memoir comes from the French word mémoire, meaning memory or reminiscence. Similar to an autobiography, a memoir is the story of a person's life written by that person. These life stories are often from diary entries, either from a first-person account or from a close family member or a friend with access to personal diaries. So diary is something which usually is not accessible to everyone, but if you have any close family member or a close friend, they can get access to your personal diaries. Now, the difference between a memoir versus autobiography is that a memoir focuses on reflection and establishing an emotional connection rather than simply presenting the facts about their life. The author uses their personal knowledge to tell an intimate and emotional story about the private or public happenings in their life. The author could be the person in the story, or it can be written by a close family member or a friend who knew the subject person intimately. The topic is intentionally focused and does not include biographical or chronological aspects of author's life unless they are meaningful and relevant to the story. So, memoirs come in several types, all of which are written as an emotional account of the target person. They usually tell a story of a person who went through great struggles or faced challenges in a unique way. So, it can be a sort of a lesson for the reader that they can learn from the life experiences of that person. It can be challenges, it can be achievements, it can be hurdles, it can be anything. So they can also cover confessionals where the memoirs tell the story of the author's account that contradicts another's account. So this topic can also be introduced or it can be mentioned. Now comes the difference between it's a chart which shows, depicts or represents about the differences of autobiography, biography and memoir. So it's a comparison as you can see. We will be discussing one by one in detail. So for biography, as you can see, it's an account of a person's life, while autobiography an account of one's own life. And on the other hand, you can see that memoir is a personal account of a specific time or experience. While we are discussing about biography, so it is written in the third person, while autobiography is written in the first person, and memoir is also written in the first person. Biography is objective, Autobiography is subjective and memoir is subjective as well. So, biography presents information collected from the subject, their acquaintances, or from other sources, while autobiography presents facts as they were experienced by the person, and memoir present facts as they were experienced by the person. So, you can see that autobiography and memoir has a lot of similarities. Biography is written to inform and establish a context, while autobiography is written to inform and explain the motivation and thoughts behind actions and decisions. And memoir is written to reflect on and explore the emotion of an experience. Biography has restricted access to the subject's thoughts and feelings, while autobiography offers access to personal thoughts and feelings. On the other hand, memoir offers access to personal thoughts, feelings, reactions, and reflections as well. The last point about biography is that it can be written anytime. Autobiography is usually written later in life, and memoir can be written anytime. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel to get more updates related to the lessons which I'll be uploading. Thank you.